I'm 78 years old. I made over $50 million in my career. I own an oceanfront condo, an imported car in the garage, and I have no one to call when I wake up at 3 in the morning with chest pains. Don't click away from this video. I need you to hear this. Because for 50 years of my life, I believed a lie. The lie was simple. I'll deal with that later. Later, after I win that case. Later, after the promotion. Later, after I make partner. Later never arrived. I was good at what I did. Very good. By age 35, I was already a partner at one of the biggest firms in the country. I won impossible cases. My name was on the covers of business magazines. I thought I was building something, a legacy, an empire. I saw myself as the provider, as a successful man. I would get home at 11 at night and think, I'm doing this for them. My wife Laura had her birthday in April. Every single year, I promised I would come home early that day. For 18 consecutive years, I broke that promise. 18 times she blew out the candles alone, or with the few friends who still visited her. My son learned to ride a bike with the neighbor, not with me. He was 6 years old. I was closing a contract in Sao Paulo. He had his first heartbreak at age 16. I found out 3 months later when his aunt mentioned it at Christmas, but I justified everything. They have a good house, trips, first-rate education. I confused comfort with connection, and that is the first trap. Comfortable does not mean connected. I was a well-dressed ghost. Physically present sometimes, but absent during every moment that mattered. Laura died of cancer 7 years ago. She was 69. It was 8 months between the diagnosis and the end. I finally took a leave of absence from the firm. I was finally present. 3 weeks before she died, on a Tuesday afternoon, I was sitting beside her hospital bed. The sun was streaming through the window. There was a vase of white lilies on the bedside table. I had finally learned that lilies were her favorite flowers. 47 years together, and I learned that when she had 3 weeks left to live. She was awake, but tired. She looked at me and said something that shattered my soul. You know what's funny, Roberto? Now that you're finally here, I don't even know who you are anymore. She didn't say it in anger. She said it with sorrow, like someone stating a fact, like someone looking at a stranger and realizing they were once intimate with this person. But that was in another life. I wanted to say something, to apologize, to explain. But what was I going to explain? That I chose every meeting, every client, every case above her for half a century. That I thought love meant paying bills? She fell asleep. I held her hand. And for the first time in decades, I cried. My son didn't come to the funeral. He was 41 at the time and lives in Australia. He called, apologized, said he had work commitments. I heard my own voice in that excuse. It's funny how we pass on exactly what we hate most about ourselves. Truth number 1. I confused sacrifice with love. When you are young, you believe that working late is a noble sacrifice, that you are hustling for the family. That's a lie. Noble sacrifice is being there when your child wakes up from a nightmare. It is canceling a meeting to hear your wife cry because her mother died. I was sacrificing, yes. But for what? For my ego. For validation. Because winning a case gave me a dopamine rush that my family never could. And that wasn't their fault. It was my choice. Laura asked me, when she was 52, if we could go to a couples therapist. I was 54. She said she felt we were turning into roommates. I replied, "Honey, I just need to close this bank case. We'll go in 2 months." We never went. 2 months turned into 17 years, and in that time, something died between us. It wasn't a dramatic murder. It was death by starvation. Because relationships don't die from fire. They die from frostbite, from indifference, from, "I'll fix that later." What should I have done? Simple. I should have gone to the therapist. I should have told my partner. That meeting will have to happen without me. I should have chosen presence over performance. Truth number 2. Money buys comfort, not respect. My son called me for the last time 6 years ago. He was 42. Today he is 48. He said he needed money to invest in a business. I transferred $100,000 without batting an eye. He thanked me, hung up. I have never heard his voice again. Do you know why? Because throughout his entire life, I was the man who solved everything with money. Didn't have time for the school presentation? I sent an expensive gift. Forgot the birthday? I gave a generous check. I raised a son who sees me as an emotional ATM. And I cannot blame him, because that is what I taught him. Not with words, but with absences. Today, I have enough money to live comfortably for 20 more years. I can afford any medical treatment, any luxury. But I cannot pay someone to visit me in the hospital. I cannot buy the memory of having played catch with my son on a random Saturday. I cannot bribe the past to come back. What should I have done? I should have realized that my presence was worth more than my paycheck. I should have chosen to be a father instead of a provider. Because anyone can be a provider. Only I could be his father. Truth number 3. Pride is the prison you build for yourself. There was one moment 25 years ago when Laura confronted me. She was 44. I was 46. She was exhausted. She said she wanted a separation, that she couldn't stand being invisible anymore. I was in shock, angry. How dare she? After everything I had given her. Did I realize my mistake? No. I doubled down. I worked even harder. I traveled more. I proved my point. I was indispensable. The firm needed me. But Laura didn't need me anymore. She didn't separate. She stayed. But something in her gave up that year. She stopped fighting. She stopped asking for my attention. And when your partner stops fighting for you, it is not a victory. It is surrender. It is her accepting that you are already gone. I was too proud to apologize, to admit I was wrong. Pride is funny that way. It convinces you that you are strong. But in reality, you are just too cowardly to be vulnerable. What should I have done? I should have begged. I should have dropped everything right then and said, "You are right. I chose wrong. Give me a chance." I should have chosen humility instead of ego. Truth number 4. Later is where dreams go to die. Do you know how many times I said later? Thousands. Later I'll travel with you, Laura. Later I'll go to the high school game, son. Later I'll take a real vacation. Later, later, later. Later is the most expensive word in the language. Because it sounds harmless. It sounds logical. But later is a promissory note you will never be able to pay. When Laura died, I found a box under her bed. Inside were 23 travel brochures. Paris, Greece, Thailand. Places she wanted to go. Some brochures were from 1998. Almost 30 years tucked away. Dreams on paper that turned yellow. We had the money. We had the time. Or we could have made it. But I always said, after I retire. After things calm down at the office. Things never calm down. Retirement never arrives the way you imagine. And while you wait for the perfect moment, cancer doesn't wait. Accidents don't wait. Time doesn't wait. What should I have done? I should have bought the ticket. At that exact moment, when she showed me the brochure for the first time, I should have chosen now instead of never. Look at me. I am your future if you don't change now. You there, at 25, 30, 35 years old. You think you have time. You think, I'll work hard now, enjoy life later. You justify missing family dinner because you are building a future. I thought exactly that. And now my future has arrived. Do you know what it's like? Silent, empty, full of money, and completely poor in meaning. Do you know that fear of failing? Of not being able to pay the bills? Of disappointing people? Of not being successful? That fear drives you, doesn't it? It makes you work 70 hours a week. But there is a worse fear. Much worse. It is the fear of reaching 78 years old and realizing that you wasted the only things that truly mattered. Relationships, moments, laughter around the dinner table. I won every case. I won every award. I built the empire. And now I eat alone, staring at my cell phone, waiting for a call that never comes. You have a choice now, this very second. You can exit this video and go back to living on autopilot. Or you can do something different. Call that person you have been ignoring. Cancel that super important meeting and go have dinner with those you love. Buy the ticket. Apologize. Say I love you before it turns into too late. Because one day you will be where I am. And the only question that will matter is, did you love well? Were you present? Leave in the comments. What are you going to change today? Not tomorrow, today. And subscribe to this channel, not to help me, but to remind yourself every time a notification pops up that life is too short to live in later. I wasted 50 years. You still have yours. Don't make my mistake.